Hi, I'm Joe Morgan, a flat fee financial planner from Best Financial Life, and I'm sharing some money moves that might be good for you to explore. Today's tip is to understand the risk your company stock creates in your financial life. I'm guessing you've signed up for these emails because the amount of stock you have accumulated is starting to look large to you, and you want to be sure you're doing the best with this important asset. If that's the case, then what you are sensing is probably a conflict of two very different feelings about your stock. On one side, you may believe there is still tremendous potential for your stock to continue to rise. You see the good things that are going on at the company, and you know from the past that the stock can continue to grow rapidly in the future. On the other side, the dollar amount of stock you now own is very significant to you. If it were to fall by 30 or 40%, that might create some real regret in terms of holding onto the stock and could even affect your future. Perhaps you haven't felt this conflict before because the dollar amounts were lower, but now you feel it is time to do something. Well, today I'd like to try to provide some context for how you can balance these two very different feelings. We want to understand the risk your company stock creates in your financial life. Here's what I want you to do. Grab a pencil and let's write down all the major resources you have. We begin with your cash balances. Just write down one number that is the total amount that you normally keep in your checking and savings accounts. And below that, let's put the amount we have invested in our diversified portfolio that is not our company stock. Next, write down the value of your home and other properties you might have. And now finally, write down the amount of company stock you have and look at it relative to the other figures. How does that make you feel? Do you feel confident and happy that your company stock is providing this level of support for your family? Or do you feel scared that you have so much money in one place? My guess is your feelings are somewhere in between, which is the balance we're trying to find. Now, I want to ask you another question. How much of your company stock would you need to shift into your broader diversified portfolio to feel confident your risk is at the right level? Whatever that figure is, let's make a note of it. What we've just done is we found the amount of stock that is right for you from an emotional level, but we're not done yet. Let's look at this from another perspective, leaving our feelings out of it for a moment. I don't know the company you work for, but I can imagine there must be hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of people who work there. There's also a board of directors and a CEO, and those positions might change from time to time, but they're always filled with humans. Now, what are the odds that one or a group of those people might make a mistake so big that it could cause the growth prospects for your company to stumble? With all of those people making all of those decisions every day, it seems inevitable that it will happen at some point. A single company with a single board of directors can make such a mistake very easily, and it happens all the time. For this reason, and not making any comment about your actual employer and not even knowing who your employer is, I can tell you that you should not have very much of your money tied up in their stock or any single stock. You already have your income tied to this one company, and now you have a certain percentage of your wealth there too. We don't expect anything bad to happen, but we know the consequences if that small chance that something bad happens actually comes true. You have vested stock and you have unvested stock. Your vested stock may already be too much, and you can do something about that, which we'll talk about in the next few videos. Your unvested stock, on the other hand, is exposure that you can't reduce at this time. So you'll never be at zero company stock as long as you work there and they continue to give awards. You have a responsibility to yourself and your family to manage this risk well, and most likely that means beginning a process to reduce your company stock and move funds into your long-term portfolio strategy. Today's tip is to understand the risk that your company stock creates in your financial life. Have a good day.